Good morning, everyone. It is it's about seven in the morning. So I'm about to wipe my stove, which I should have did before I turned the camera on. But I'm a funny style person. I don't know. I think I'd be worried about something at night that's not in here. So there goes that. I'm not gonna hide it. I'm not gonna hide it. So this morning I'm going to. I was gonna make me some bacon because I'm leaving the house in a little while. I just turned this on, so let me turn this on. I have to let it dry for a minute because I noticed that my pan will start sliding because it's whatever. So I'm gonna put it here. But I did wipe this a few minutes ago. I went to Walmart.com and I ordered this shrimp fried rice. So this is what I'm gonna have for breakfast. And I know you're supposed to put it in the microwave and all that other stuff, but that's not how I'm gonna do it. And see now my thing is hot, it's red, so I'm gonna put my pan here. And I know you saw me wash this, and you probably say, why did you wash it? But I'm gonna let you know there have been a few deaths for people who have touched things that were riddled with rodent feces and urine. So I have always been, a person to like put my hand in water, so my items go in water too. So I don't know how to cook this, and I'm not really in care of knowing that. I just know I want something to eat before I leave, and it's gonna be this. Oh, look at that! The shrimp is raw. Now I know it's gonna take about maybe 3 minutes. I'm not sure. I'm not a shrimp eater, like that. So it is what it is. I'm gonna put some oil in my pan. Oh, my oil's right here. I'm just gonna put a little oil in my pan. And I'm also gonna toss in some of this soy sauce. I don't know where that other sauce is that I had. I don't see it. So I'm gonna let this get hot. It's on 40, and you might hear some water boiling right now. I'm gonna try making some coffee with that tea kettle because my coffee's cold when even in my cup, so I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna do that. Oh, look at that. That's the perfect serving for two, for me anyway, for two. But it says remove temper band from package, microwave on high. We don't want to do that. So that's it. I hope you had a good evening last night. I did. I did a lot of moving and shaking in here. I don't know if I want the shrimp. I may just eat the rice. I'll decide. But my oil is bubbling up really nicely. I kind of think that my coffee is cold because my creamer is cold. So I'm going to do that and just put some coffee in my paper towel. Now this is starting to sing. Now I don't actually see any flavor in this. I do smell. I smell seasoning in there. But I'm gonna add a little bit of love in my pot. I'm gonna add a little bit of love in there, boys and girls. And yesterday, Walmart delivered me this free pack of eggs. Amen. I haven't been having any allergy issues with eggs since I started fixing my stomach. So I'm gonna try it today with this. I almost gave the eggs away yesterday, but I haven't had any issues. So I said I was gonna try that. Now I'm gonna turn my fire down because my shrimp is still raw. I love how fast my egg is cooking over here. And I am going to combine it in my rice, but I'm going to make sure that my egg is cooked before it hits my plate. So I don't want anyone to worry and say, oh, she's mixing that. It's going to completely be cooked before it hits my plate. But I have a love affair with the butter, so I kid you not. I don't care what's in the pot. What's in the pot? I need a touch of butter. Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe I'm going to take a little bit. You know, I may just take it and put it in a to-go bowl so I can have it with me because, for one, I'm not driving. I'm taking a taxi, and I'm going to be a ways from the comforts of home. I am not going to put myself in a position where I have to find a way to eat outside. I'm not doing that. I'm kind of nervous because not driving myself, I'm giving up a lot of control of my independence. So I may end up staying close to the medical facility until the taxi arrives, which is going to be about an hour wait. Let me make sure I'm rolling. Okay. I want to say I'm not going to excuse my laundry rack. I have no reason to. I have provision. I have somewhere to hang my clean clothes. That is a blessing, and I want to see it so I can count my blessings every day. So if you have an issue with that laundry, keep it to yourself. That's right, keep it to yourself. So here is my meal. I put it in a bowl because I'm gonna have it a little bit now, and it's a little bit going towards 8 a.m. And I'm gonna have a little now to see if I like it. I think I will. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. It is definitely not what I would find in a local place, but for the amount of money I paid for it on Brookville Lane, I can definitely say I will eat the whole thing. It will definitely take hunger away from your belly. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It will work. I'm not saying I will run and stock up on it, but I will definitely make sure it hits the shopping cart again because I'm leaving my home in an hour or two. Mm, mm. Sometimes I shock myself when I have a pain issue and I don't scream anymore, but that's it. Um, I'm going to take 4 spoons because that's around the time when I'm feeling like I'm well enough to say I ate, and I don't need to go any further. So I'm trying to stay focused on the fact that I already had 3. There goes 4. Hopefully this top. Oh yep, it is the top. So I'm very happy. Very happy. I woke up this morning, and the first thing I did was realize I wanted to lay down a little while longer, but it's like I said, it's going on 8. My taxi will be downstairs at 10:15. I should be downstairs about 10. So just say there's anything I wanted to do before I left. I wanted to make sure I did it, and I didn't want to have to rush, and I wanted to stay on task. Uh, I don't know what these beets are for. Red beets. Walmart, the delivery guy brought me food that I didn't ask for. Uh, I'm not complaining. I'm going to most likely take that and ask somebody if they could use it. I don't have anywhere else to put it, and I don't want to put it in the trash. So there goes that. So I have to tell you, boys and girls, I woke up this morning and I started watching some videos, and I landed on a video where a woman doesn't want to do any food on her channel anymore. She said times are changing, and she's feeling that she needs to start cooking a different type of way in order for her budget to be able to, I guess, accommodate, her lifestyle or whatever. I'm not sure if she's monetized on YouTube, so that would never be something I would really know. But I was glad to wake up and land on that video, especially for the fact that I don't normally have my phone access until after I take care of loving up on myself in the morning. But I was glad to see that because it's actually true. She said she felt people would judge her on what she was eating, how she had to eat, and things like that. And I truly understand that. But I then had to realize that I'm thankful. I'm thankful for a lot of reasons. One, my channel is not monetized. For two, if I put something on my table that someone doesn't like, 9 times out of 10 they unsubscribe, and I can respect that too, because I would rather someone walk away than make me feel a certain type of way, knowing that this is what I have to do to make myself survive. And then I stood in the mirror in the bathroom, and normally I don't look in the mirror at myself because at one time I just couldn't look in the mirror. I don't know why, but now I can look in the mirror. So this morning I was looking in the mirror, and I realized that I went through something that I didn't fully say, but someone accused me of trading in my people. Uh, Trading in my people, but it wasn't as gentle as I said it here. I could not believe the amount of F bombs that I heard. And I kid you not, I didn't get offended. I was completely taken back, if that's the right way to say it, and I was shocked because I never heard this type of speech come out this person's mouth. I did hear something that I didn't like, and I did address it. Maybe that was me being part of the problem. So I do take full responsibility for that. But I couldn't take the amount of N words I heard in the process of the conversation that I was having because I didn't think it fit into the conversation. But I did take notice of something, and I didn't say anything that could possibly be me being part of the problem as well. But along the way, I don't know where I abandoned my people, I traded in my people, and I looked like I would have a white man in my bed. I don't know what I did at any point in time to make someone say that to me, but when I heard what I would have in my bed, it didn't. I didn't need to comment on it because it just wasn't a topic I was willing to engage in, so I didn't. I did address the fact that at this current moment, I don't want any man in my bed. So I left it there because the color of the man in my bed has nothing to do with who enters in my space from this day forward. So I couldn't interchange in that part of the conversation, and I don't know if I was right, I don't know if I was wrong, but the bottom line is I just didn't feel like I needed to, so I left it there. But Coral popped in my mind at some point in the conversation because, well, I can honestly tell you it wasn't a conversation at this point. It was to the point where I took a step back and I had the phone and I'm like, because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. But there are times that I have to take accountability and say, you know what, I am thankful. I am thankful for everyone who expresses how they feel about me, and I am literally the person that you can do that with because at this point in time, when you show me who you are, I am going to accept it the first time. I'm not gonna ask you to change who you are for me. You're not changing for me, honey. You're gonna show up as you are. It's either you are for me or you're not, but you're gonna get the fuck from around me, and that's it. That's it. I'm not going to put a band-aid on nothing. So I was I was literally laying there. At some point, I did start to cry. I kid you not, I did start to cry because I couldn't recognize myself in the conversation. So then I had to stop. And at that moment I heard Coral, in my mind. And then I said on the phone, I said, I think I'm gonna hang up now because I think you're having a bad day. And you gonna hang up? Why you gonna hang up? And just went bonkers. And I'm like, clearly you're not having a good day. And I think it's best I hang up the phone now. I could have hung up. I could have, and it could have been, but you know what? I am proud of myself. I am no longer there. I am no longer there. So that's it. But during the process of the conversations we were having, I did take notice of a few things. And I do say, if I did wrong, I apologize. And I did apologize after I ended up having to hang up. Yes, I did. And then I waited a whole, couple of hours, went to bed, doing everything, but I did pray. I did pray, and I thank God for that revelation because guess what? I knew at some point I was going to be tested, and it arrived. So I can only accept what was given to me, and I can only accept the fact that I saw it. I saw it before it even came, and how I saw it was the little things. I am wrong for one. I don't think I'm wrong, but I was told I am wrong to sit on my channel and tell women that they should not allow a man to come in their home and just take, 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 and take. Why? Because I'm telling people wrong because people need to come together and help each other because everyone is struggling. I understand all of that. There is no denial in the fact that everybody just about is struggling. But what I do have a problem with is when I need clarity and I'm giving you full clarity and you make me feel like I'm playing in a sandbox. That's just the bottom line. So, at what point is someone supposed to allow someone to come into their home and they're supposed to risk their safety, their security, and their whatever that they cannot provide on their own for someone else who's just going to continue to take? That's the only thing I noticed different from what I said to what I was being accused of, because I never said that a woman should not try to make a family, a community, or whatever with man. I only said if a person's coming into your home and they're sitting at your table and they're eating, and EBT is providing that food, by law, you don't have enough to share. Now, if you are meeting someone, y'all getting to get know each other, you provide a meal, and he see the refrigerator get empty, and he's bringing it in, and he's putting it in, and y'all are working together to build something together. I never tell anyone to throw that away. Nobody would, because not everyone wants to grow old alone. I don't want to grow old alone, but I choose to if that's what the opportunity brings me. I'm going to take it and I'm going to wrap my head around it with love and joy. Why? Because I love myself. I never would tell someone to throw away love. But when someone comes to your table and they're eating and that refrigerator get naked, they're not putting it in there, then you can see something. And the only thing I ever said was, don't watch what they say, watch what they do. That's it. Because we get shadowed in our heads when we get to listening to all that fancy talking. All that fancy talking is for the birds. You tell that to somebody else who's listening to that music, because I'm not listening to that music. What I'm listening to is silence and what my eyes tell me. And I'm legally blind, boys and girls. Yes, I am, by legal standards. So if I look and see you wobbling a certain type of way, then you really not coming around here. You're not coming around here. So I was accused of saying things on my channel, or whatever the case may be, because the words were really horrifying. But I was like, I was listening. I was like, ooh. And I was like, But when I felt like my character was being assassinated, I think that's when I started to cry. And then I heard, what are you crying for? And I'm like, and at that moment, I was saying, God, just hold me down, because look where I just came from. You know, look where I just came from. She has arrived. What did that song somebody just put on my YouTube? The Jeffersons coming on up or whatever? I can't sing. But so now you're looking at me a certain type of way, like I have something. No, goddamn it, I qualify, which means I'm what? Poor. Absolutely. So don't look at me like I have a whole bunch of whatever. And then I noticed that I was being forced without my approval or even a question to fix a problem that I didn't break. Now, there was a time that I was a fixer. Yeah, I'm hearing this. Okay, but that has to stop. That has to stop. I almost took my own life. I actually went through the steps to get there, and it didn't happen for a reason. A reason. I am sitting here on YouTube for a reason, and I know the reason. I understand the assignment, but I'm still living in fear, and I can't continue to live in fear. So when I hear someone say those things about me, the only thing I can say is thank you for sharing how you feel. That's it, because I need those things. I need every bit of them. You may not think I do, but I do. So why would I take a gift that was given to me in honesty? Because guess what? That's all I want you to bring to the table, honey, is honesty. Because guess what? Now you know you can't sit at this table. Mm-mm. No. Now, I did say I was sorry. And I meant I was sorry, because I am sorry. I'm sorry that you can't accept what you see. And I am sorry that you understand it. The no means no. I am absolutely not fixing a problem I didn't break. Absolutely. I sit down and I wake up sometimes and I say, I am afraid of what I see. You want to know why? Because I don't know the true understanding of a recession. and I don't understand the true meaning of a depression. So I watch people's videos, and one thing with me, I'm gonna give it to you. If I like someone, whether I truly understand what they're saying or not, I'm going to play their video from the beginning to the end. It's the only form of respect that I can give. That's it. So I may walk away from the TV, I may close my eye, I sleep, my head just, I drop out, narcolepsy, but I still feel I'm bringing something to the table by letting their video roll. But recently, I was watching a video, maybe 2 or 3 videos, and recession and depression uh, was in the conversation. And I don't know the meaning, the full understanding of either one. So I just listened and tried to grasp at what I could grasp at. They were talking about the coffee can, to put the change in, that stuff like that doesn't define whether one or the other is to me, because I've always, realized that you should have a change can and stuff. That's from when I was a kid. So I don't know the difference. So I do know that I was living in survival mode for a long time, and it almost killed me. It almost took me under. So one of the things that helped me transition my own life was learning to be grateful for what I have. If I look at these 3 candles that don't have real fire, they burn with, they light up with batteries. If I look at those 3 candles like I do every day, I see them and I say my table looks nice, those things will make me appreciate what I have. So I do understand that that magic doesn't work for everybody, and I would never tell someone that they should do it. I'm only sharing what works for me. Now, I suffer a lot from crying. I cry a lot. I suffer from depression. I do it all. And I admit it. I'm not going to hide who I am. But there is nobody going to get me to believe that I can't wash my body because I'm sad. No, hell no. That one thing that I do every day that I get to do it is because I choose to have some form of control. I cannot help the fact that I'm wobbling in here crying about this and crying about that. I can't help that, but I can do the best I can to clean my body, because I have to love myself in some kind of way. Now, I think the day before yesterday, I was on the phone and I was washing up at the sink, and someone said, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I just stepped out of my bed. I'm, showing myself some love." I don't have stability all the time to stand up without falling, so I fall a lot. So I don't have a bar in that shower. I was told they were going to put one in there, but I don't believe that it can be put in there. So one of the things I'm very happy for is that the floor in the shower is made with some type of roughness where your feet grab onto the bottom. So that takes away a lot of my fear in here. I kid you not. That is a safety mechanism for, you probably didn't even realize, but that was needed. So there was that. So now I sit down and say to myself, okay, I have a mental health illness. I have a few of them. I could talk about something and then something else hits my head, and then without a warning, I go to something else. And without a warning, I go to something else. And I notice it myself. And then I sit back and I delete my video. So there are times that I have really nice videos, but I will delete it when I see that, because I say, someone else may feel this way or they may say this. And then I say to myself, no, I put myself out here, so I have to just be who I am. So sometimes you may hear me say, I do this, but I'm not going to make excuses for myself anymore. I can't do that, because that's going to take me backwards from where I was trying to come away from. And one of the things that made me truly happy last night was reading what King said, that I don't have to ask permission to use his name. I don't want to ever hurt anyone. I don't want to ever say anything, so I don't like to do stuff like that. So I like to ask permission. But the fact was, he accepted me for who I am. And I'm thankful for that, because you cannot understand what it does to me to have this channel knowing that I live alone. There are times that I need to hear other people. I need to be part of society. Now, I can't go outside and be part of society like everyone else wishes that I could. I can't. And I'm not going to make any excuses for it. It is who I am. I was born this way and I love myself. But yesterday, I did something that really shocked me. I had already started crying when I told the woman that I wasn't going outside there because it was dark. And I said, I can't do it. And I started crying. I heard it, and I heard someone in the car say something about whatever she heard me because I was on FaceTime. I went downstairs in the elevator and I actually walked through the garage, which normally I wouldn't because when I open the door, I always look like is anybody out there because I just see a Lifetime movie bop and drop. But I walked through there. But what helped me walk through there was seeing Susie there, my vehicle, safe, So I walked through there and I waited and I waited and waited. I saw somebody pull up and they came out and they went to the door. So what I actually learned is that the back of the building is where the most activity is. People do the drop offs and the pickups at the back of the building, but I did feel a little uncomfortable. So say somebody pulled up over here, I moved over there, and I understand exactly what it looked like. It looked like, I was moving away. And in that moment, there are people that would say, she moving off like shit, but I'm not around that type of environment anymore. So I hear people say hello, and I say hello, and then how are you? I'm fine. I have literally heard, do you need help? That is not what I'm used to. That's not what I'm used to. So of course I'm still fearful because I was fearful for years. But I hear people. I have actually stood and I'm like, what I needed for my nervous system, I actually I actually have. So now I'm listening to how this person on the phone is making me feel like I traded, and I'm like, when did I do that? And who the F eats oregano and parsley? And that keeps coming through my mind, but I'm like, I didn't eat oregano and parsley for years. So when you say who doesn't or who does, me. Okay, now what happened to this meal and that meal? Where's this and where's that? Okay, oh, well, I like those nickels and dimes there. I like those nickels and dimes right there. I like it. I like it. Yes, honey, God provides. So I'm saying, okay, now, uh, obviously, I'm not cooking a meal that's gonna cost me 40 something dollars a pound. I know the dynamics. I know what I'm not. Who's eating it? And I didn't. I shouldn't have had to say that. But where is this and this and this? You just who's eating it? I can't afford to eat it. So who's eating it and who's buying it? See, all of that stuff was missing. What did I do? Sat back and I just listened. Yeah, I was like, Now, at another time in life, I might have been on the line, like wondering if Coral could help me understand. I didn't need anybody to help me understand. Clearly, that food was desired on my stove, but I didn't hear anything about somebody bringing it through the door. And I made it point blank clear from the giddy up. I don't want a man in my bed. I don't want a man in my bed. I am not ever going to be in a position where I don't want a man. I love men. I think men are the greatest creation to life. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I do not want a person attaching their wagon to my truck knowing that I am a giver and they're a taker. That's it. The math is plain and simple. Why? Because I, it's that, who in the, how did I, pop on my Facebook trying to get to the marketplace and see me on the screen. Why did I kid you not? But I when I say to you, I want everyone to do me a favor. That's all. It just popped in my head, and I'm gonna sing it right now. But I'm trying to get to this person that just reached out to me. Um, I'm gonna pause on that real quick. Something just made me get an untidy feeling, like they might have been, facetious or some type. So I'm not gonna rush for that one. When you chase that almighty dollar, it might get you somewhere. So something made me pause. And one thing I do is I listen to myself. So I'm not even going to engage. If it's something that they want, they'll wait till I come back home. Something just hit me and I had to stop. And sometimes it's hard to stop, look and listen, but I can't tell you to stop, look and listen, and you saw me stop. So I'm gonna read the room and I'm gonna back away. I wish someone showed me how to turn that air conditioner on. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, boys and girls, but it's it's like what? Ugh, this thing is locked. This thing is, look at this. It's 76 degrees in here. Now this is locked. So I'm supposed to hit this in some type of way and then like hit the fan. Now I turn it down like that, but I know we can't turn it down. And you see, it says heat, and I know the heat is not on. So I need some air. The fan is on. I don't know. It's 76 degrees in here, boys and girls. And guess what? Who's not going to complain? Absolutely. I'm not complaining. No, I'm not. I'm going to sit here and try to figure it out. Even if I hear somebody walk over there, I'm going to say, can you turn this on for me, please? Yes, I will. But I am so happy. All I keep saying is I am so happy, but I don't have like so much to be happy for. I just wake up every day without a freaking migraine. No one can understand what I was going through, crying over a migraine every day, knowing that I'm not taking no pain medicine. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm like, I wake up and my head is not hurting. I go to sleep, my head is not hurting. I wake up, my head is. So I'm like, this is becoming a norm for me, but I'm not used to it. So I'm like, wow. I even noticed that I'm not sure if the water is different because even my skin feels different. Like I don't have to rush and lotion up my skin. I did lotion up this morning, I'm not gonna lie. But and I do have plans to put on some love on my hands after using that bleach water that my daughter put up in my soap. But I'm just like, wow. I have the lights on now because I'm recording, but when I finish this recording, the lights are gonna go off. I don't need the lights on. I'm not afraid to turn them on anymore like I was before. I did speak to a few neighbors and asked them, about the meter, and they just use the lights, just don't abuse them, and that's it. And then like I said, I met a few people and getting into different conversations where I'm doing everything I can not to overshare, but it some people have been here from the beginning, and they're like, they don't like the they call it a prison. They use the term prison type feel or whatever, but the safety is what I'm focusing on. No, I don't like the fact that the elevator won't move unless I put the key. No, I don't like the fact that everywhere I go that I'm being monitored. I don't like none of that. But what I'm focused on is the fact that no one can knock on that door because they just happen to walk in the building. So when I hear the door, the first thing come to my mind is you belong to the building. So you can't walk through this building if you're not with the person that you are coming to see. So that's just that. So you don't have to wonder if those people live here. They're together. They're coming together. They're leaving together. And that's just that. So when I say I feel safe, I have arrived to Peaksville Lane, Peaksville Station. You will hear it all the time. But I kid you not, I am so happy because I'm going through a process in my life that I will not be sharing on this channel. And the process of my life is going to happen this month. I work really hard to get to little processes in my life because I knew what I didn't have. I didn't have. So I did make sure I didn't say anything to anyone in message, Yahoo, whatever the case may be, because I wanted to wait until the moment arrived and I got there. The first person I know is going to be happy for me is Coral. Is Coral, but I I feel a certain type of way because when it comes to Coral, because Coral knew me when I was in the rips of nothing. And she grabbed hold of me and she loved me. She loved me unconditionally. So I can't get away from how Coral makes me feel, and especially for the fact that Coral has no proximity to me. But there are times when she will be the calm to my storm. And I don't care who you are. You need someone who is the calm to your storm, especially when they can be the storm themselves. That's why I like Coral. That's why I like Coral because she will if she feels like saying fuck, she's gonna say fuck. But she's not gonna be everywhere saying fuck. But she's real. When you get to know her, she's bringing nothing to the table but who she is, and that's what you want from people. So you know if this person needs to move to the side. You understand? That's why when yesterday I ended up telling someone what I went through over the phone. And how could you let somebody speak to you like I have never? And that wasn't necessary, but I accepted it because you know why? The reason why I had to let them speak is because I always ask for honesty. You want someone to tell you how they feel about you, but you want them to tell you sooner than later because then you can make an informed decision that is best for you. That's it. If you can't accept the basics in life, then you need not hitch your wagon to someone else's because guess what? I was being almost forced to sign something that I didn't want to. And I know I didn't want to. And when I was clearly like, what do you mean? You know what the FI mean. You heard what the FI said. So now I'm 56 years old and I'm being treated in a manner that I am totally not going to accept. But I'm not going to come out of character. I'm not jumping out my frame. I'm not doing any of that. I'm listening. Did you hang up? No, I'm listening. I'm going to stay calm. I'm gonna stay rational for this phone call. I have to. One of us have to. It would be nice if we both can, but one will. Why? Because you are revealing something to me, and that is a gift. We have to understand sometimes. We don't have to like it. We don't have to agree, but we better open up our eyes and accept it for what it is. See, one thing with me that I don't like is all of this mixed terminology. I don't know some of the words, I don't know some of the meanings, and I know being out of school for so long that there are times when I listen to what I say, it's not what you would hear if someone was saying it coming out of a college or something like that. So I understand where I stand in my society, but I also know exactly what I mean. So as long as I understand what I mean, I'm not going to try to curtail myself to be something. No, I'm not going to do that. But it is too much work for me. I don't go to school anymore. So some of the times I have to, if I'm going to say something and I read that I'm saying and it's going to go this way and I have to use AI to change it, I just say, you know what, I'm not going to comment because I just don't want to. Like this ION that I'm seeing on Facebook and stuff, I try not to comment and stuff like that because It is it's tragedy that we can take three words and change them from something that the whole world can listen to. So I don't want to hear that. Just like I was watching a video, an etiquette video, and I'm definitely in an etiquette group because I have seen a lot of stuff that's missing in society, and I noticed that there's some ways that I'm thinking, and I'm like, did I do something wrong? But basically, no, I'm going back in time to what I was told, at different stages of my life, and I know what's right and what's not right, and sometimes I don't, but one of the things I learned watching this video, and the man said, if you are in the United States and you're on social media, you should be social media in the language where you are putting yourself out there, especially if you are in any type of business. Doesn't matter what it is. So I understand that. I truly do. And I text in English, I read in English, I speak in English, and then I will pop up Facebook and I'm looking for something and I will see a whole nother language. So I understand what they mean but what they're saying is if you are on an English forum, you should be speaking English. And it's no different than being in say a building, and the building is in the United States and you're here and you come from another country and you can't speak English, whatever that dynamic is, it is okay. But at some point, maybe learning the language of the land that you're in would be helpful to you and someone you may have to help one day. And, it is life. So I don't feel someone should learn because they should learn. I feel you should learn because you should want to learn. And that's it. The whole mechanism is different. That's why I love who I am. I don't care what it is. I want to learn every single day, every single day. And I have seen some things in this building that make me feel, like I can learn here. I met a few little kids. I kid you not, and I am not I'm a kid. I'm a big kid. I sleep with teddy bears. I have little dolls. I'm a big kid. But one thing I do believe is that children are honest in a way that we need to look and listen to before society or their parents change their way of thinking. Because the little girl that was in the elevator yesterday, she was hi, and I was like hi, and I was kind of afraid to say hi because you don't want a person to say, well, why is this adult speaking to my child? Because the first thing I think of is you're not supposed to speak to strangers, but sometimes a child can tell you who's safe and who's not. That's why when my daughter was a baby, before she was able to speak, if she was doing this away from someone, I never let that person hold my daughter. I didn't have to. I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to make it a conversation. If she did this, it was that. And I made sure that that person was not in my home on a regular basis, especially when it was time for my daughter to go to bed, because you need to feel safe when you go to bed at night. So there goes that. Those are just the little things. But I want someone in here to give me Spanish lessons, and I want it to be a child who's going to school, because the only thing they're going to be able to teach me is what they're currently learning. So there goes that. So I'm on the prowl for whatever kid in this building is going to want some pocket change, because I want a kid to teach me what they know, because they're in the process of learning at this moment. So that's what I want, and I always wanted that. But I kid you not, yesterday I didn't hear anything on this wall. But when I went downstairs, I had to go past the elevator, and I saw a man in the game room with two little boys, and they were at the table, and they had these like blocks or something like that, and they were on the table, and that is one of the beautiful things that I have seen since I've been here, because that was family time. That's why I am absolutely blessed to be in this building that I'm in, because that is not something that I'm accustomed to seeing. And it doesn't make it right and it doesn't make it wrong. It makes it my reality, and that's it. So I am really happy. But when I heard someone say, "How dare I move away from my people?" I didn't understand what that meant, and I still don't. Yeah, I am dumb. Absolutely. Because guess what? I didn't move away from my people. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Now, I have been in this building. I know I fainted in the lobby. I don't know who was there. I don't know anything. All I know is I'm safe. But I legit was on that floor in my lobby hall, and not in my lobby, in my hallway. I couldn't walk. I did, the ambulance didn't even have time to come upstairs. My nose was I had snot just running to the floor. I was riddled in pain, and no one came outside. And this man came to the door, and he just stood there. He said, "What can I do?" And I couldn't even speak. That's how much pain I was in. But I was legit crawling on the floor. And I'm quite sure someone can remember how far I lived from that door to that elevator, but I had to crawl. But the ambulance people were picking me up on an everyday basis. It was horrible how bad my life was that I was in the ambulance all the time. You can't tell me that I should live amongst my people and I have to ask you not to come around me doing certain things, and I need you to help me stop. No, I don't need, I'm not helping you do a damn thing. I didn't pick up that's whatever you're smoking. I'm not helping. No, but I kid you not. I have to tell you something that I was kind of might have been a little bad bag or bad bag girl say bad bad. Now, you went to the store, you had your lunch, and you had the beer. You might have had a little special drink or whatever. Everybody has to do what makes them happy. You see my coffee, right? I am no different. But then you doing it this day and you doing it that day, and I'm like, you having a good life. I'm proud of you. Now you made a little boo boo somewhere. You need somebody to help cushion your fall. No, I'm not. I don't under. No, I don't know. I don't know. And clearly saying I don't know must have been a real problem because maybe they figured I did know, but no, I don't know, and my social security number, absolutely not. No, your credit is a hell of a lot better than mine. You don't know that. You're assuming that. You don't know that. Absolutely not. Nope. Mm-mm. You're assuming that. And I didn't say you're assuming that. I said it in my mind. You don't know that, and you're assuming that. But you surely better understand that if I even trust you enough to put my signature on the line, you're going to be real sad to find out whatever that is, you're going to lose it. But I am not saving anyone that can walk anywhere and make sure their habits and their wants come before their needs. Absolutely not. I am going to say I rather bow out. I rather bow out. Yep. I'd rather bow out. I talked to a friend of mine. She called my phone by accident, and then next you know, she called back. Now, mind you, I didn't hear anything after all of the distress calls, and then I noticed it, and I said, you know what? And I stood up, put my hand in the air, and I said, "Thank you for, letting me realize because this is not the first time it happened, but I have to wake up and I have to take accountability for what I allow to happen. That's why I don't want to say anything is anyone's fault because it's not. I walked through it and I let you do it to me. So I did it to myself. I welcomed it. So now, oh my God, girl, it was so nice. It was in the bed and it felt so good. I'm like, ooh. And you know what I did? I was like, ooh, that is so nice. I'm on the phone like, mm. Oh, and he touched this and he did this. And, oh, it was so good. Oh, it was so good. I'm like, oh, that is so nice. And I'm like, I said, oh, that is so nice about 4 times. That's all I was going to say. I wasn't going to add anymore. And when I hung up the phone, I said, when the distress call come, I just don't have it. I don't have it. I kid you not, boys and girls. I think sex is amazing, but I think sex is amazing when you're in love. I kid you not. I know the difference, and I can pass on the wobbly stuff, but I kid you not. I don't want any man touching me at this time because if I let a man touch me with the goodie stick, this is going to just skip the station. I have somewhere I'm trying to be. That's it. I can't multitask. I don't know how many times I need to say it. I can't multitask and I have a very bad problem. I have a tendency of trusting when I shouldn't. I do. I do. I will let you just walk around me and make me believe that everything's coming out of your mouth is the truth. Why? Because I like to give people trust. I want people to trust me, but I am actually trustworthy. I'm trustworthy. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I have never, turned left to make myself a little cushion. I'm not saying that because I kid you not. I wish I could walk into a building and say, I saw this or I saw that, and just, but how I know that I will never change from trying to be a decent person is because I saw something that I know should never have taken place. And I picked the phone up and I made a phone call. And the person said to me, "You were really nice because that person went through," and I knew they went through something because of what I saw, the residual effects of it. And I was not going to be that person and say, "You know what, I'm not going to say nothing." You are the problem. And if anyone was to do that to your kid, I would hope you would expect them to sit down and say nothing the same way you say nothing. There goes that. But you don't have to voice your opinion because I don't care. Huh? There was blood in the equation. There was blood, so I was not going to sit down and not say anything. So there goes that. And I can promise you when I tell you that I don't fit the demographic of a person that would have picked up the phone to call in. So I don't need anyone to speak my language. I speak my own damn language. Amen. Yes, I do. But today is it's going to be kind of a little unnerving for me because I'm going to be going without my vehicle that I'm usually able to jump in, and I don't know. I wanted to take the train, but I can't walk from destination A to destination B, so I can't do it. And I kid you not, I don't even have $6 that it would take for me to get from destination A to destination B, and then I don't know how much the train is, and I don't have that either. So, excuse me, may I ask for some help? Hello? Can I ask for some help, please? Thank you. I'm so sorry. Good morning, by the way. Thank you. I heard your slippers. Can you show me how to turn the air conditioner on?
They have it locked downstairs already.
No? What do you mean?
I mean, they have it locked.
It's locked?
Yeah.
So we don't have air right now?
It says heat on it. Right
I know it says heat, but I would like the air. Cold. I would like it a little cold.
Yeah, they locked it.
Oh, it's locked.
Yeah, because that's how it is in management.
So when does the air come on?
If it feels like it's hot outside, they'll do it downstairs.
Oh, so you mean to tell me I might as well not even touch that?
Yeah, it doesn't. You can't control it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank
I mean,
you.
you can turn it on when you want heat, but then they got it downstairs when it's. I guess when they look at the temperatures outside, they change it. They change it by themselves.
Okay, thank you. Cause I've been trying.
Yeah, I see you do. Yeah.
Yes, I knew.
I was like, wow, I'm not somebody that's here already.
Yeah, I hear. Yeah, but I was happy to find out the person that lived
I've
here.
been here for 2 years.
You've been here too. You like it?
Yeah, we're from the city, near Manhattan.
Oh, you're from Manhattan. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I like that. Okay, well that's nice. Thank you so much.
I'm Michael.
I'm Shay, and I want you to know that you on my YouTube, so I was recording. So hope you don't have a problem.
No, I got a YouTube channel.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometime after 7, I want you to knock on my door and bring a piece of paper with your YouTube.
It's easy to remember. It's Mike Lover 6612.
Mike Love.
Mike Lover.
Mike Lover.
6612.
6612. Okay, I'm gonna subscribe today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I go to the pantries and everything around here.
You do?
Whenever I get food. Me and my wife, we look at the food we want and give it out to the.
Well, then I guess I'm in the right community because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I don't know anything in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay, no problem.
That's about it. But.
Yeah, no problem. I already live across the street from the precinct. Seatown's around the corner of Brown Street.
Is there a La Placita around here? La Placita.
What is that?
Okay, never mind.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, I wouldn't know.
You want to know? It's a Hispanic store.
Oh, I'm pretty sure because everybody around here like Spanish.
Yeah, that's the supermarket I would like to find.
Oh, a supermarket. Oh.
Yeah. So if you
I wouldn't know. It's Seatown, Stop and Shop right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Have a good day.
Yes, you're welcome.
Bye bye. There I go making a daggone nuisance of myself asking for La Placita. He's like, oh, I don't know what that is. Well, it's 76 degrees in here, and they're not going to turn it on until. So what I'm thinking that I was able to do, I can't do. So it is what it is. They control it downstairs. I thought I was like, maybe I can get some air. But the other day I was in here and I was hot. And out of nowhere, I started feeling, I'm like, this is, but so they can completely control it downstairs. So it's nice. He's from Manhattan, and his wife and him go to the pantry. They take whatever they want, and then they give away the rest. So I said, I guess I'm in the right community. So that was nice. But I heard his slipper sliding against the floor. But my goodness, I love living here, boys and girls. Anyway, I'm going through a stage of life of trying to just find where I fit in. And I believe I fit in here. I love my environment. Everything is not going to be perfect. I do know that. I'm going to get outside somewhere and I'm going to see something that I really don't want to see. But guess what? It is not right here. And that's the only thing I asked for. I was I can't believe, I really cannot believe that I haven't spoken to my social worker. But I did send her some pictures to show her that I have arrived. But everything she actually got, I did not want a corner store anywhere where my front door was. I didn't want it. There's not a corner store where my back door is or my front door. But I kid you not, I'm not sure, and I don't want to make a nuisance of myself by asking, but I believe I found 3 elevators in this building. But I actually love living here. My friend is disabled. She's about, I would say, going on 70, and she can't really walk. And to hear her say, she can't climb stairs, and she doesn't need to say she can't climb stairs. I can see she can't walk that much. So I told her, I said, I think you need to come here and you need to research the medical system because you need to be here, So she came yesterday and she wanted to come upstairs, but she couldn't because she couldn't walk too much to come inside of here. But she did like that big hunk of ham or meat or whatever she got from me yesterday. Because I was like, somebody's food this is not my food. But I kid you not, my crock pot. Let me see if I can show you my crock pot. I don't know why I still have it here, but this is broken. You see, the whole thing is, and the pot won't even sit down. But I'm trying to see if you see this is in and this is up, because this whole thing is indented. It's garbage. But I don't know if I put it on the counter and I try to make a meal, if it will set a fire. I don't want to do that because. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Oh! Ooh. Unplug my microwave. Ooh. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I need to stop saying sorry when I have nothing to be sorry for. I don't leave anything plugged in if I can remember to pull it out. Fire starts in the wall. I am terribly afraid of fire, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to buy myself, and it's going to be something that y'all have never seen me buy. But I'm going to buy myself 2 candles from Walmart. I have a friend, he's a man, and he loves taking baths. And his baths to him are greeting cards to me. That's just to show you how he loved to take bath. But I told him that I have been taking baths in here. I have been able to get under the water. It feels like I'm in a spa. That's how nice the tub is. But he said, now you need to get a candle, a glass 1 wick candle, because he knows I will gift him a candle, but I won't give myself a candle because I don't like fire. Now I do light my incense, and I put it, in the sink, and I put something on a little thing and let it drip off in the sink. But I actually I'm working on getting myself 2 candles so I could put it in the bathroom. But I have a counter that's away, like it won't blow. I'm afraid of fire. I'm really afraid of fire. The same way I'm afraid of water. But I will get in a pool and I will get underneath. I'll go on the beach, but I'm not going far. I'm not going to investigate. I'm not going to do any of that. But over the years, I've gotten to the point where, especially after moving from Miami, I'm not getting in a beach anywhere around here. You don't have any idea what's under that water. So once I got in South Beach and all that, and was in, you can't come here and enjoy the beach. Now, if you don't know any better, but experiencing out there and coming, it's just not the same. So there's those bells and whistles don't shake for me. Oh, this coffee is delicious, boys and girls. I am so thankful for the small things in life, boys and girls. You don't have to chase all of the big things. I'm sitting here now thinking how I took my $20 bill out of my purse and stuck it in that laundry machine to wash these clothes. But I'm saying to myself, I cannot wait to save up to pay for my washing machine that I am paying cash for. You hear me? I am not going to use credit in any capacity to pay for my washing machine. That is a goal of mine that I am going to hustle and grind. What I have to do is step foot into Best Buy to see what their process is, because my neighbor that was here, she went to Best Buy. She said, get your machine from Best Buy. But it is what it is. I'm looking forward to so many things, but I'm going to take my time. It may not even be this summer that I do some of the things that I do. Uh-oh. I think the air is on. I don't know, boys and girls. If y'all have to tell me if y'all think this is, I got a cool breeze. Now, I do know, yeah, I believe the air is on. Oh my goodness. Am I getting a birthday gift? I mean, are y'all really seeing me in here behaving like this? But this is it. I feel some coldness in here. I think the air is on. Ooh! Boys and girls, but they better not turn that air on. When I'm freezing at night in the summer, because I don't want to be cold like that. But I am so grateful. Mm, mm. I kid you not. I always wanted to live in close enough to Walmart, but now that is air conditioned. Oh yes, honey, that's air conditioned. Oh, I feel it. Ooh, it's coming on, boys and girls. It's coming on. But I always wanted to live near Walmart, especially when it was to the point where I was eating a certain type of way and I was able to afford what I was able to put on the table. But now I'm like looking at these videos and they're saying that Walmart is doing this with the changing of the tags and all this other stuff. And I made a very good decision for myself. I am like 13 minutes away from Walmart. I come out of my door and Walmart is right up the road on the same side of the street. But guess what? I don't think I'm walking into Walmart. I don't think I'm going to walk into Walmart. If I can budget and I plan on budgeting it. Once my Social Security check arrives, I'm going to pay my bills. But I think I'm going to pay maybe $50 more on my rent just to cushion me, because later down the line I may see a little bell or whistle I want. So hopefully this landlord is okay, like my last one was. They would let me throw a little extra cushion. You don't know what's coming, so you better figure it out. And you throw that cushion where that security needs to be, because I kid you not, I don't have 6 months of what's that life vest that you're supposed to have in a cookie can. I don't have it. So when I have a little cushion, it's going to Geico or whoever, insurance, Progressive. I'm throwing it a little bit to the rent, and there goes that. I have a bill, one parking ticket left. That parking ticket is almost $300. And the unfortunate thing is they want the whole thing at one time. There was a few times that I got a notice in the mail that they don't take partial payments, but guess what? They never rejected the payment and sent it back, so I kept sending partial payments and the bill is paid in full. But I don't believe that anyone should say we don't take partial payments if someone is trying to pay the bill. So I said, you know what? At that moment, I said, okay, well, I didn't read that, and if they don't want my money, they'll send it back. And when you send it back, you're letting your system see that you refused my offer of trying. So I'm not sure, but I may drop in a partial and see if they send it back. Because you can tell me you don't want partial payments, but if you don't send it back, then you do want partial payments. I don't understand all of the language, but I understand a piece of it. So if I was in front of a judge, I would have to tell the judge, you know, I did see it, but when they didn't send it back, then clearly they did accept it. So you was going to accept the next one too when I was able to send it. So that's it. I like to pay my bills. That's it. If I have a bill, it means I have something. You understand? So people don't, I won't say people don't. I don't know anyone who's happy to pay a bill. I was happy to pay my electricity bill because I had Wi-Fi or I had, lights. So I was happy. So I'm happy to have these bills. But now I'm like, wow, I'm very happy to have a cup of coffee. That's it. And when my friend said, so how could you let him say those things to you? Honey, all I said was, I accept honesty. That's it. But the blessing is that there is no way under the sun that I share in this world, you don't ever have to say sorry to me. Because it doesn't matter if you say sorry to me again. It doesn't matter. I am not one of those people that need to hear sorry. Absolutely not. You have to fix your behavior, and that behavior can't change because clearly you have an issue. That's it. And the issue you have is not with me, it's with yourself, because clearly I didn't abandon anyone. Now, I can tell you this. Tomorrow is my daughter's birthday. I'm going to call my daughter today to see if there's something that I can do to make her life better that does not include my vehicle. That's it. That's it, because there is a line I have to draw when it comes to being convenient and available. I don't live close enough to you to be cushioning your fall without upsetting mine, and that's it. So if you need a bell or whistle that I can do for you over the phone, I will do it. I am not getting in my vehicle to go way on that. Nah, I'm not doing it. So I'm not ready to jump on a parkway. And she said I live 13 minutes from her. And she said that, I said, and I didn't say anything else. That's it. Because if you think for a minute I live 13 minutes from you, then you are living way in delusional land. And I'm not going to take 13 minutes from here to get to you. No. Nope. But I really and truly wanted her to spend her birthday with me. But I'm not her person. She likes the shiny things in life, and I am really thankful for everyone, and especially my daughter, for loving the things that she loves. But there's gonna come a day that those shiny things are not gonna be of use. So this shiny thing, I keep forgetting I have. I keep going to the sink and keep washing my dishes, but that shiny thing right there, I really am glad I have it, because when I'm not able to stand there, I will use that. So there are some things that we should be happy that we have, but all of those bells and whistles and all, I don't need all that. But I'm gonna end my video now. I see I've been grinding for 1 hour and 14 minutes and 15 seconds. Thank you so much. And I want you to know, Mary, that I feel like you abandoned me. Did you see that? I feel abandoned. Miranda, Auntie abandoned us.